Hey there, Ed McCormack here, founder of the crypto education platform, DChained. Before we go on, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends, pound that like button. We love all the support we keep getting from you, the viewer. So with that being said, I want to ask you, have you noticed that Ethereum prices have gotten out of control? Between people piling into NFTs, trading on DeFi platforms, the cost of just doing a trade has been astronomical. I mean, clearing $500 many times on any given day. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way that you could skirt around all of that congestion, get your trades prioritized, and ultimately save you a little money? And we're going to talk about exactly that and how you can get started with Eden Network. So before we jump into Eden Network, let's just cover the basics in terms of where a lot of these gas fees are coming from. And as I alluded to in the intro, the biggest gas burners right now relate to NFTs, especially those NFTs that are just being minted and distributed, as well as DeFi. And because of all this congestion, and because Ethereum has not entirely moved to proof of stake, and it won't until early 2022, a lot of these transactions that are being added are still being done through proof of work by miners. And ultimately, this is where those gas fees are continuing to climb on a daily basis. And a lot of that has to deal with the fact that those block producers, the miners, are afforded a number of benefits for the efforts that they put forward. Part of that being how they can take advantage of their favorable seat to get in on arbitrage opportunities. Find where there's a lot of activity, where there's a lot of profit to be made, see that activity, and in a somewhat benign way, also trade. Use data that's at their disposal in a way that is really not hurting anyone. But there's also a lot of opportunities to go the other way. And this is where you start to see instances of what's called miner extractable value. And as part of miner extractable value, you see acts such as front running, as well as sandwich attacks. And we're not talking about, a roast beef sandwich where the meat is a little old. We're talking about the ability for a miner to see that you're going to place a trade, prioritize themselves ahead of you so that they buy it, and then they sell it to you at that increased price so that they're capturing that spread time and time and time again. And they do this because they're the ones adding the transaction to the blockchain. Now, with that being said, there is a transaction network that is being funded and supported by some of the biggest names in the entire blockchain space that is seeing miner extractable value for a good purpose, which is how do we deliver value for traders to give them that priority in access and to avoid all that congestion, but also provide incentives and rewards for not only the block producers, but also the decentralized exchanges executing all of these transactions themselves. And this is where you see Eden Network emerge. Now, Eden Network is basically a transaction network. They operate in a capacity where they partner with many of these decentralized exchanges who have a slot on the blockchain where they can add transactions themselves, as well as having their own relationships in the miner community where they connect traders to these exchanges and to these miners so that when these transactions happen, the traders are ultimately prioritized ahead of all the other transactions. Now, you might ask, how does that work? And ultimately, it's a simple scenario. They've created a token economy where if you buy their token, Eden, you get priority based on the number of those Eden tokens that you stake on Eden Network's site. And ultimately, this is where once you have that staking in place, what you then will do is open up your MetaMask account and set up the Eden RPC, which as you set it up, you're just going to type in, some basic information. you'll highlight, the actual Eden network. You'll type in the connection that you're going to go into. You'll put even the Ethereum URL as sort of the supporting host URL. And from there, that's it. And now every time that you want to make a transaction on SushiSwap, for example, what you will do is you will use your MetaMask wallet, which is connected into Eden network, and then transact just like you would any other time, except this time you're going to get routed through Eden for a transaction that's going to get added to the Ethereum blockchain. So it sounds a little complex. It's not. For you, the investor, all you need to know is that there is a solution if you want to help minimize all that slippage and also get your trades in a lot faster. And that is go to SushiSwap, buy Eden, EDEN, take that Eden, stake it on Eden's site, and then set up your RPC in MetaMask. And that's it. And from there, it operates in the background. You don't have to do anything else. You automatically get routed through their network. And based on how many tokens you've staked, you will then have that prioritization over everyone else who are trying to add transactions onto Ethereum blockchain. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to this channel, pound that like button, and tell your friends and family. We're trying to grow this channel, and with all this new excitement in the blockchain and crypto space, we love all of your support. So until next time, happy and safe investing. I'll speak with you soon.